This crispy chicken is from a taco place.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place?
The taco place?
Taco place. It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with the room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Bronco fans, the new Boise State trading cards are here, and you can only get them at Jackson's.
Start collecting them today.
Jackson's, let's go!
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Who knew it'd take 2,007 man-hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass? Smells like game day. Whoa, it's not dry yet.
Welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News. Game time is approaching, and we're getting you ready with the latest pregame news, interviews, analysis, and more from BNN. Have a pregame score prediction or comment? Let us know in the ICCU YouTube chat, or leave us a message on the Signature Roofing voice box at speakpipe.com/BNN. The BNN pregame show is presented by Lithia Ford of Boise. Lithia Ford of Boise is a proud sponsor of Boise State Athletics and proud to support our student athletes through exciting NIL partnerships. From the blue turf to wherever life takes you, Lithia Ford of Boise is here to get you there. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. The title sponsor of Bronco Nation News is RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. For all your painting needs, check out RowPaint.com. Now, let's head out and join five-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, for the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show on Bronco Nation News.
Well, greetings, Boise State fans. Happy Senior Day to you. Beautiful day here in downtown Boise. We are at the James Kitchen and Bar across the street from Albertson Stadium. We got Brad Bedell. We got Kent Riddle. My name's BJ Rains, and we're getting you set for Boise State's final home game of the season on the blue. They're taking on a Colorado State. The Broncos, guys, still alive, still a lot to play for in these final two games, but senior night, senior day, I guess, chance to honor 20 seniors and try to go out with a win on the blue tonight.
Yeah, it's a huge deal always to protect the blue, but especially on senior day, that's a big deal. We talked about the other night, but, hey, this year, maybe not the record everybody was hoping for, but a ton of these guys that are playing today in their last game on the blue, huge contributors to the success of last year and the previous seasons, and hope everybody shows up, cheers their ass off, and let's honor these guys and make today a special
emotional day too.
Yeah,
it's an emotional day.
For sure.
I've always warned kids, seniors, hey, this is going to be, oh, no, coach. And all of a sudden you look over and mom's hugged them and they're crying. And it hits them. They're like, this is the last home game I can be on the blue. And you want to win it for them because of the contributions they've made. Some 1 year, some 5 years, some 6 years, and eventually, next year, it'll be 6 or 7.
Yeah. Well, we were talking to some seniors this week, Latrell Caples and some guys, and Mason Randolph. And I was like, has it hit you yet? And they're like, not really. But I I don't know when it is. Maybe like you said, pregame warm-ups end and you line up and all of a sudden you look up and see your family standing out there at midfield and your coach and your athletic director hugging you. I mean, that's, from a routine standpoint, not something you're used to, but and that's probably when it hits a lot of these guys.
Definitely, yeah. And it is a little weird now because some of these guys, this is their second time through it. Some of them have. They could come back next year.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, there's a little bit of a different.
Tyler Crow told us he went through 2 of them. Yeah.
So I get this is the second time make it easier. Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a weird feeling.
But like Luttrell said, he could come back next year. He's not. But
right.
So I mean, there is a little bit. It's a different feeling now than the finality of it all, maybe a couple of years ago. But
it's also
I do know it's going to hit those guys hard, whether they think it will or not.
And it hits others too. I mean, like and Spencer brought it up. Ezra didn't go through his senior night.
I was going to bring up Cage Casey and those guys.
Cage Casey. Yeah. The players treat those guys like it's seniors because they're not stupid. Like and the players in the locker room, they're hugging them, and even those guys got emotional at the end of that game because like, hey, it's over. And so it's the players make it special for them, even though they're not getting the call out, which they'll be called out on NFL Day. So
there's all this hoopla and talk all week. I mean, once the ball kicks off, is it back to being a normal game, or is there still some residual thoughts of that throughout the game?
Once the ball kicks off, it's
normal game
over. It may be. I mean, maybe it's your first play on offense or defense if you're not on kickoff or whatever. But once you get out there, it's go time. But it's really kind of when you go back into the locker room. Right after seeing your parents out there and shaking Coach D and JD's hands and giving them a hug and all that stuff. That's what it is. And then kind of regroup and, I think a few more butterflies or whatever when you come back out. But, yeah, at some point it just snap back into reality.
I always wanted to talk to him about the game after that. And I usually don't talk. I didn't talk to the players a whole lot. I went over the first 10. But I always want to go back and talk to him and go, okay, hey, now it's time to go. Are we good? It's time to go and let's roll. And usually they're fine by then.
Now, what about there's 20 seniors. Now, in basketball, they'll sometimes let the seniors start for the first couple of minutes. I know you can't just start all 20 seniors, but do you try to find a time in the second half, hopefully, where you can get all the seniors in for at least a play? Or
I think you try. And even at Boise State, I mean, there's been times we've let some guys start. My man Bush got the start here his senior day, and Kellen came in at some point there.
And that's the whole 50-3 thing people want to say, Kellen didn't start that game. Should he be 49-3,
He did play from behind after one possession.
I didn't know that.
Because Bush threw
the whole 50, there's a little, if you want to really dive into it, he was 49-3 as the starter.
Bush 50-3 in games he played in, but on an out. Pick six.
Ouchie.
That was his only drive, was a pick six?
Yeah.
I loved all the seniors that played for me, but I ain't starting a senior because he's a senior. I want to go win the game.
But you try to find a way to get him in there in the fourth quarter or something?
You play him, especially for a suck-ass team like Colorado State.
and not only that, but even especially on offense where you can control stuff with the where you can control stuff with the personnel groups. Yeah. There's probably a call in there that gets a guy in, and
yeah, you hope so. You can get him in the game, of course, but starts
not the
animal.
First goal today is
not
the win.
For me.
Yeah.
Well, for sure, because I mean, ultimately we can't control what happens with anybody else. But if we win these 2 games, that's the only chance you got to win the Mountain West Championship.
Yeah, and we'll get into those scenarios a little bit later. That's on my my list of things to talk about here. I assume everybody can hear us okay. No one's complaining in the chat or see us okay. It's always can't sometimes hear the James. The first 5 minutes can be a little bit of a roller coaster, but I think we're in good shape. If you got score predictions, thoughts, let us know. We're live again at the James Kitchen and Bar. Nice crowd behind us, having some beverages and food and getting set for, there you go, making some noise in the background, getting set for Senior Day today. Kickoff in just over 3 hours, Boise State and Colorado State. And you guys, both have obviously been out of the coaching game for a couple of years, but both still have ties to this roster. Both still recruited some of these seniors. Mason Randolph actually talked about, you a couple days ago when he talked to the media, just the fact that you guys signed some of these fifth-year seniors, and then, unfortunately, in your case, Brad, left them a couple days later. What was that like? And I know at the time, maybe you did. I don't think you had any inkling that you might be leaving, but to sign those guys, and then I think it was less than a week later, leave for Auburn. How tough was that? And knowing Mason the way you do, and just when you recruited him and his family, seeing what he's gone through, signing with Harson's staff, and then all the fifth-year seniors playing for the Avalos era. Now Danielson. I mean, it's been a roller coaster for these fifth and sixth-year seniors.
I'll go back to when you tell them you're leaving, it's emotional for you as a coach because you don't ever intend on leaving.
I will go 100%. Had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
And that was the year you guys were in Vegas,
back of the head.
You guys were. It was signing day was in Vegas, I believe, before the Mountain West Championship game.
Yes, working on about 2.5 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Or was that the Vegas Bowl? Was it the Vegas Bowl or the? No, that was the
Vegas Bowl.
It was Vegas Bowl.
No, because it was a San Jose's championship game. Was you guys left right after that? It wasn't Vegas Bowl. It wasn't Vegas. It was 20, right?
We didn't play in the bowl.
I'm saying so. When you guys were in Vegas, it was for the weird. It was the weird championship against San Jose State.
Sorry, that was the one I can't get out of my head.
But no, it
had nothing to do with being out and having fun in Vegas. It had to do with redoing the entire game plan.
But it was an emotional time to let those because you never anticipate it. Because during the recruiting process, no, I ain't leaving. I love it here. Yeah, I love it here.
Talking about here. Jeff Ward says video working great. Two of you look very handsome.
Boy, you that sucks for you. But it was emotional, and it's always tough. And I'm proud of him. And you want a kid that's pushed through perseverance in everything that's taught, that Spencer has taught. Andy Hars has taught about Boise State and getting through perseverance and meeting challenges and exceeding challenges. In my opinion, that is Mason for what he's gone through. All first team, all conference, hurt. They're literally taping him together because he's demanding to play.
Well, now he's even you see him limp off he's done, and a series later he's right back out there.
Yeah, he's a warrior, and that's why I think he's got the locker room. I think he's a very powerful. When he talks, he's powerful. I don't think he's a huge outlandish leader, but when he talked to the media the other day with you guys and how he do anything he can for Spencer. That's him. He's loyal.
Him and Luttrell were actually here in the year we coached, and then it's the next group of guys, I believe.
No, Randolph Simon.
No, you got him because you stayed with Andy. I left.
Okay, I can't keep which guys are straight.
Yeah, but is he the only fifth-year lineman? I'm trying to think that you were a part of still.
He's the last one, yeah.
And I know you were part of Matt Lauder. We talked about him the other day.
Mason, those guys.
Well, Mason was his area.
The problem why I'm having trouble remembering this is there were a handful of guys, and it was really that whole class. And somehow, maybe because we'd had Mike Callahan and some of those other guys had actually physically seen Mason before, but Matt Lauder and Marco,
Matt Lauder, his area was Luttrell. His area was Mason.
Not Luttrell, but
Ashton Genty.
But Marco and Matt Lauder, literally the first time ever seeing those guys in person was when they reported
because of COVID.
So I'd never seen him in person before.
Yeah, because Mason was not he was not.
We talked to him on the phone a million times.
Lots. Yeah, a lot of FaceTime. Yeah, things like that. But asking that, hey, can you do you mind if you can move the camera out and can you measure the door jamb? And there's guys, this is a fact. I asked kids, I'd FaceTime and said, hey, get on a scale. I can't see in person. You don't look very heavy. Hey, show me the scale.
Wow,
dude, you're 247 pounds. I don't know what you want me to do. You got to gain 20 to You got to gain 20 to get the offer.
About this roster here, everybody's so worried about where recruiting, all that stuff is. I mean, you stop and think about the oldest guys on the roster were recruited sight unseen, really, right? The next crew is kind of year one under Andy. Wasn't such a great year, but might have been some decent contributors there. Then you got coaching change.
Right.
I mean, there's all sorts of stuff in there, and I think ironically the class we signed sight unseen, there's a bunch of guys that are actually contributing here and leaving here as fifth-year guys. If you look below that, like Ashton was certainly a definite hit. But it kind of that
Louder's a hell of a player.
Well,
Mason.
Louder's the sight unseen guys, but we have 20 some seniors today, and I don't know how many sophomores and juniors we have that are big time contributors.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I get all those years confused.
Yeah, I do too, and it's weird because of the portal now. Guys come in here, you don't even know what year they are.
Now, you mentioned Cage Casey. Spencer came out and basically said, yeah, we know he's going pro. He said, I'm writing him a letter. I'm treating him as this is his last game, but he's, is not going to walk out with the seniors. He said, Ty Benefield, great chance to end up going pro, but not going to take part in senior day. And, I have seen some schools, not very many, that, in rare cases say, hey, we know you're gone. You did a ton for this place. We're going to let you have this moment. Obviously, they did not for Ashton Genty last year. They are not for Cage Casey. What do you make of if you're a senior, you get it. If you're not, I don't care how good you are. You're not a senior, you don't get it.
I don't have any problem with it. And I think he put it out.
Right?
He defined it.
It makes it easy. We'll get our chance to honor those guys at some point for what they've done, but the last thing you want to do is sit down and evaluate the whole roster like multiple times in a career and go, okay, you can go, you can't, you can go. You just get into a lot of gray area and it's not worth it. Just make it, hey, here's the rule. You're a senior or you're not.
I mean, there's could be a kid in today's day and age like, hey, coach, I'm going to go in the portal, but I just want to let you, but I want to play the rest of the season. And by the way, can I be a part of senior day? No. I mean, they're not going to be a part of the program, and it's different. I understand it's the NFL draft. I understand
it's very clearly communicated and takes a lot of the guesswork out and saves a lot of time and feelings.
Once you set a standard, you got to hold the standard. I mean, Genty is obviously what he's done for this university, but it goes back further than that. That's been the Boise State policy, and I honor the policy.
And you talk about whether it be a Randolph, whether it be a Caples, whether it be a Matt Louder. I mean, I hate to say it, guys, but in this new era of portal and NIL and all this, like the days of the 4 and 5 year seniors staying at one school for all 5 of their years is not going to be nearly. I mean, there will be guys that do it, but it's not going to be nearly what I mean. The Marco Notrianis of the world. I mean, guys like that. I mean,
there's a lot more guys that if you're in position to be there 4 or 5 years, you probably left after year 3 and went to the NFL.
Yeah, right. You've been developed.
Or maybe got paid.
I mean, I'm looking at this list here. Zion Washington is another guy. Mason Hutton. I'm looking at Matt Louder. I'm probably missing some guys here. But a lot of these guys, whether it be Irby or Zach Holmes or Kyneth or McCoy, or a lot of these guys, Chase Penry started somewhere else and came here. And they still deserve the moment here. They're a senior. I get it. But there's something different about the Tyson Degenharts last year. Guys that stay all 4 years and don't transfer, and some of the guys we're mentioning here. So what do you make of that? The Matt Louders and these guys, like I said, we're going to get some, but I don't think you're of a 20-member senior class. If you just say you have 20 every year, 25, it's going to be less than half probably that are there the whole time.
I would say 25%. I always thought that you're going to lose 10% of your class even before the portal.
Yeah.
Either it's not. It turns out it's not for them, or they want to transfer and take the year off. Right. Yep. Whatever it is. But I think that loyalty and honors and should be. You should praise those guys for that now. They wanted to go through the hard times.
If you're a senior here, you're a senior here, and
I agree.
Welcome everybody. But you're right. I mean, the chances of having those kind of guys here every year, probably. I mean, there are 1 or 2 of them, but you're not going to have a roster full of them for sure.
No, absolutely not.
All right, so we do have a game today to talk about Boise State, Colorado State. Obviously, the headline is the 20 seniors being honored, but we did get some news, I guess, earlier this week. Also, Chris Marshall's out again at wide receiver. We already knew Ben Ford was out, so we've talked all week about trying to get the passing game going, trying to get the offense, to score more than 7 points here, and obviously no Chris Marshall. Obviously not good to hear, but some other guys like Luttrell are going to have to step up here.
Yeah, I mean, next man up, and I'm sure we'll see a little. I mean, the weather's a lot better today. We're at home. We're not playing the best defense in the conference statistically.
They gave up 186 yards of rushing a game.
Yeah,
if they don't come out here and hit him in the mouth, I'm going to be pissed.
They're going to take some shots down the field.
Establish that run game first.
But yeah, it should be good. And we'll probably see some new faces at receiver. Yeah, should be exciting.
Well, what do you expect to see from this offense? And Max Cutforth in particular was 5 of 7 in the first 3 quarters, only 7 pass attempts in the first 3 quarters. Got to the fourth quarter, had to air it out a little bit due to just the score. Finishes 12 of 18 in that game. But all week we've heard need to attack more, need to be more aggressive. It sounds like reading between the lines, they are going to let him throw a little more, and maybe not on 3rd and 15. We're going to get the draws, or 3rd and 4. Some of the running plays we saw. You're saying no, stick with the run. I'd
say 50-50 balance. If you can go 52 run, at least you're opening up for the play action, and then you're in the shot range, right? It's just you have to think right now. If you're Colorado State and you're putting the defensive game plan, it's to go cover 1, get the extra guy in the box, and if they beat us throwing the football, they did a better job than we did. That's what they're going to come into this game talking about. And just like you play Air Force, if you stop the run, make them throw, okay, you can beat Air Force, right? Here, it's like stop the run, make them throw. If he can produce the big plays,
yeah, I'm with you. I mean, the key to the whole thing is going to be being able to run the ball. But I fully expect him to take more shots downfield on first and second down. And then, yeah, I think third down probably is going to be fairly conservative. I mean, I don't think they're going to put him in a situation where he can't succeed.
Don't make a big mistake.
If that means punting the ball, then they're going to punt the ball. But a lot of this will be put on the defense. I mean, we're playing our backup quarterback. They're playing their third quarterback.
Yep, and we'll get to him in a minute. My untrained eye, you guys obviously don't even need to say it, know way more about football than I'll ever know, but I would like to see a play action pass maybe, or maybe a wildcat for one snap, or maybe get Sire Gaines and Dylan Riley out there together for a play. I just would like to see a little more variety than just, hey, we're better than you, and we're going to try to run it up the middle every play.
Open up the formations.
I'm not saying I know more than Nate Potter.
That's fair.
They had a reason to why they did that. They obviously felt good about their game plan, but not one play action in the last game, not one 2-back set, not one wildcat. Like, I would like to see a little more variety.
I'm sure you will.
I think it's fair.
I'm sure you will, and I think they did what they did last week because they felt last week that gave them the best chance to win. I think they probably went and reevaluated things, and today might look a little different. Now, I don't think we're going to see him cut loose and throw the ball 40 times. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen.
I did not want. No, I don't want that.
Diet Coke, I think. I don't know why they gave you a line.
Yeah, I don't think they need to do that. By no means.
All right. There was another topic this week where Spencer's talking about the in-game adjustments needing to be better from the coaches. What do you guys? I don't remember when the iPads came in. Can
somebody please cue up the Peyton Manning halftime adjustment speech?
Hey, Spencer said it himself. I'm just bringing up what he said. I don't remember this. What was the Peyton Manning halftime speech?
I've never, ever made a halftime adjustment. We go in, eat an orange slice, and go back out.
And the halftime adjustments by Doug Peters is typically the plays you didn't call in the first half.
All right. They went into the game plan last week. They obviously had their game plan. It really wasn't working. And like I said, not a whole lot changed. Spencer came out and said, hey, we need to, as coaches, earlier in the game, find out what's working and what plays are working and make some adjustments. I don't remember when he kept bringing up the iPads. I don't think either of you guys were around when you could use the iPads on the sideline. But
no, we are ancient.
What is from Nate Potter in the box to coaches on the sidelines to the GAs in the box or whoever else is up there? What's that communication like in game, and how if a coaching staff's saying we need to be better at finding stuff earlier in the game, how do you do that?
Well, I think it's a matter of, I would say only in rarest of circumstances has somebody just completely done something that haven't seen before.
Oklahoma State in 18.
Yeah, Bear defense the whole game. But even that stuff, I mean, we have plans for that, and it's really a matter of going like, okay, hey, they're doing this, especially in this situation. Let's make sure everybody's on the same page. We all expect that, and that's where our calls are going. We're going to our bear beaters or our man beaters or whatever. It's not trying to think of the best way to say this, but the coaches at the highest level are thinking about what are they doing in this situation? What's our deal to beat them? And that's part of your game plan somewhere. You might have to go to your third down calls on second and long because they're playing it that down and distance different. But I'm not sure we've ever played anybody that, we expected a 4 down front and they came out in Rocky Long's defense.
Yeah, I can only think within 4 down Oklahoma State, they came out in a 3-3 stack and bear. That's it. And you had to burn the chalkboard.
It wasn't.
I think the main thing that we've ever had to gone through in up front was if they are, we didn't expect a lot of cover one or roll a safety to the tight ends. And we had to adjust to account for him on the 2 tight end sets. So they're now going to combo to the safety. So now we can have a hat for the cutback.
Yeah, and
right?
push
and hang the first linebacker play
That's
side.
the kind of stuff, and that's happening.
But is there something where sometimes, even though you know what they're going to do, you think you have something that will work against it, and then if the first couple drives, all right, that's not going to work, we need to try something else.
Well, here's the problem. Other than maybe Lane Kiffin drawing something in the dirt and as soon as he plays snap, giving the touchdown signal, which they love to point out when it works. They don't point out all the times he does that same thing and it didn't work. But anyway,
but maybe you think one of your linemen can be better than that guy, and you find, okay, we're going to have trouble on the right side here. We got to switch some things up.
Absolutely.
But that's something that's been talked about before the game. What if? I guess what I'm saying is you're not going to go into a game with a plan and then be like, oh, God, we're at the end of the first quarter. We got no chance. We're going to run these plays. We haven't practiced those since fall camp. Oh, hey, that's not happening.
You've already the contingency plans already should be in place.
Yeah, if you've done your job all week.
So what are they talking about then when they're saying we got to do a better job of in-game adjustments?
Here's a good example. Let's say unbalanced run looks phenomenal all week, and all of a sudden you run it, and you're like, they've tucked the corner in. We were going to leave the corner. Now the corner's tackling. That's you got to go, hey, guys, we got to scrap that formation. That run out of that formation's bad. Just put a line through it, and then we'll get to the same type of run in 3 other different formations that are in the game.
I will also say this. I have never coached defense. So let's start there. I think the defensive guys have a lot different conversations in game than the offensive guys do.
Offense dictates what you do. Yeah. We're 12, 11, 10, 13. Now we're going to shift. We're going to motion. You have to have all those checks.
So defensive guys might say, hey, we're not comboing that, or hey, we're going to play top hat on this. Like they do a lot of that stuff. Offensively, it's like every play has an answer built in. You just got to get to the ones you like versus that front coverage.
And execution.
And so that's why it's different. And Spencer is a defensive guy. So for him to say that, I think is a lot different. I think Nate, and if you go back to Coach Cutter and all that, like you're not making 1,000 in-game adjustments. You're just not. You're making sure everybody's on the same page as to what we're seeing and how they're doing it. And maybe instead of man schemes in the run game, they're moving and blitzing. You're like, hey, we're going to zone everything.
You're going to cancel some of your run game. Like, yeah, man. And hey, guys, we need to go to run. Zone and duo so we can handle and keep everything in our face and not worry about run through with tackles for loss.
Yeah.
That's where you got to scrap some of the counters and the powers and go to duo and run to protect your gaps.
Now, you guys obviously have the Harsin connection. I'm trying to think, when was the last time either of you guys had defensive-minded head coaches as an offensive player, or if you have?
I've never worked for one.
Okay.
Andy.
Okay, that's true. So I'm wondering, because he also mentioned, and some people got frustrated by this, fans, but he's mentioned that as soon as the offense punts and the defense has the ball, he switches his headset. Spencer switches his headset to defense, and he focuses on the defense. And then it goes back. So I guess he's not a part of the conversation with the offensive coaches, or during when the defense has the ball, or he's not going back to talk to them.
There's 8,000 TV timeouts, and there is a chance. I mean, if he has something, he can walk away and go. But
he made it seem like as soon as the defense, he just flips it, and he's on to defense, and he's
has guys that he trusts over there running it. And,
is that pretty common though, or
yeah?
Okay.
I mean, that'd be like I remember, say what you want about Oklahoma State this year or whatever, but Mike Gundy back in the days when they're winning 12 games a year, sitting back there by the phone, looking at his call sheet, he had no idea what's going on defense. I mean.
I think the only thing
to me, you get in more trouble as a head coach outside of guys like Nick Saban if you're trying to run both sides of the ball, you're probably making a mistake because you're not an expert on one.
The only thing in my opinion, that Spencer needs to make a decision on, and that's why he has to be on offense, is you can go for it or you have 2 downs. Coach, do we have 2 downs? You have 2 downs. Coach, do you have 2 downs? No, I am going to punt if we don't get this.
Yeah.
He does the punt, and then he clicks back over. Defensively, offense is going to dictate. If they go for it, they don't go for it.
Yeah.
And he's probably sitting there as like, guys, I'd be alert. I would go for it if I were them.
Hey, it wouldn't shock me if today he was like, hey, guys, take a shot. Like, that wouldn't shock me today, because he's trying to let those guys know, like, hey, you're good. Let it go. Like, we're fine. Or it might be something as simple as, hey, we're killing them on defense right now. Just punt it. Just run it, punt it. But I will tell you this, the one thing they're not going to do, they're not going to put the quarterback in a situation to fail. And 3rd and 17, and, you got multiple coverages and fronts and stunts and all that stuff you're looking at. Like, hey, we got as good a chance to rip a run through there or throw a screen or, something like that.
And don't get him caught backed up.
Yeah, but on 1st and 2nd down, I think you're going to see things look a little different.
All right, this might be a dumb question, which I ask plenty of, Brad. But I know you don't read tweets with your coach. I know you don't, follow media coverage. Maybe because some coaches do. I don't know. But after the game, Spencer got grilled pretty hard about the offense and the lack of whatever. Monday, he got grilled pretty hard about it again. Thursday, I know the coaches are going to do what they want to do, but is there ever a point where it's like, I know they know on their own, they're not, the media is not like basically dictating what they're doing, but is there ever a point where it's almost today like, F you guys, we're throwing it deep 10 times?
No.
Okay.
Because it's his job and he gets paid a lot of money to sit there and get drilled by you guys. That's a part of when you have the head coach title.
Maybe not even us. If the general consensus of the fan base is we should be doing this.
No, they're in the building.
Okay.
They're in the building.
They would do that if it was their idea.
Right.
I mean, if they're looking at the film and saying like, but they're not doing it because somebody says that.
If I was
it might very well happen. The first 10 plays are all deep balls.
Right.
It's not going to be because Joe Blow, I don't know, whoever thought that that's a good idea, and it's probably not going to happen. But I'm just saying,
I hope he.
But I would say this. I mean, the flip side, the offensive staff, they all understand they work for Spencer and they want to do things the way he wants them done. So if he said, hey, guys, we got to loosen it up and throw it more, then they'll do that. But they're not going to do that unless I would expect those guys, if we're playing the number 1 pass defense in the country that leads the nation in sacks, to be like, that's not a good idea.
I hope.
So I want to get to the defense in a second, but the Boise State offense today, what are realistic expectations in terms of, obviously we think they're going to hopefully score more than 7 points, but I don't know if we think they're going to score 50.
No,
what do we think we see?
I think they get to 35.
30. Anything 30 and above. Yeah. Colorado State's defense gives up, I think it's 28.1 points a game. Okay? They score 18, if I'm right.
They are 124th in the country. There's your beverage, Brad. They are 124th in the country, so there's 8 teams. I think there's 8 teams in America that score less than Colorado State.
Yeah, I would say I'd like.
You're talking offense or defense? No, defense, they give up 28. Offense, they only score 18.
Right. So I would say 30, and not to mention, I would like to see more 50-50. Throw the ball a little bit. I wouldn't be come out in 13 personnel and throw a shot.
Which is what for folks that don't know?
3 tight ends, 1 tail, or 1 wide receiver.
There's a great John Gruden clip teaching personnel groups on the internet somewhere. First number is always back. Second number is tight end, and then whatever would get you to 5 is how many receivers are in the game.
But that's what I would come out and then pound them. I'd like for them to come out. You know what? Here's one.
I can tell you this. We got a couple guys on here that are not. They're just not going to be happy no matter what. So I hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy it.
D Slush right here?
Yeah.
Potter needs to pull his head out and stop handcuffing the offense.
Oh, my God. Yeah, up here, Spencer looks like it.
That's the same guy. Looks like a high-paid cheerleader on the sideline.
So
doesn't look like he's talking to other coaches during the game.
Hey, D Slush 5174, man. You need a beer. I'll buy you a beer if you come to the James. We're gonna hug it out.
Real name on there.
I'm going Ari, and we're gonna hug it out, and I'm gonna buy you a beer.
Okay, so you're saying
I'm always amazed by the number of people that
Hold on,
don't
I want
use
the
their
running
real
back.
name.
Here we go. If they can get the running game going, I think we can come out of the season with a 1,000-yard rusher. He's at 824. Am I correct?
Dylan Riley?
Yeah, I'm
Believe
almost
so.
positive he is.
He's at 824. Yes.
824. Give me 200 for the kid.
Can you get to 1,000 today? You're
Get
saying?
him to 1,000 with 200.
Wow. He
That's what
only
I
needs
want.
176.
That's what I hope. I hope the kid gets to 1,000 today, and then I hope they have at least 15 attempts passing.
15. You're good with 15. I mean, they had 18 in the last game, but a lot of those were in the fourth quarter.
but we're not expecting
And
this
he
to be
had
down.
29 in the Fresno game. He came in and was 14 of 29 in the Fresno game.
Right. Well, they're also not. You know,
I think
I
one of
hope
the
we're
big
not playing
things,
from behind the Rams.
You'll know how it's going if he's thrown on time.
Good point. Yep.
That to me is the biggest factor.
If he's late on a bunch of stuff,
even I thought he played with better urgency at the end of last game. Now their coverage was a lot different in the fourth quarter.
Exactly.
I mean, he threw some decent balls.
One was a bad holding penalty that got called back to.
Well, and I'm talking early in the game. Threw some decent balls that went incomplete because they're playing man free and pressing the crap out of guys, and it's contested, and we're just a fraction late. And then later in the game, they went back to softer zone coverage because they were up 2 scores, gave some easy ones, and he was getting the ball out on time. On time isn't just so you don't get sacked. It's because the routes and the timing of the quarterback marry up.
It's the whole.
And if you get it out on time, you don't have to be as accurate.
Agreed.
The receivers can adjust. The DB's not as close. So I think that's what I would like to see. And if we are seeing that, I bet you we're going to be pretty successful.
And we can't have you got to have 5 or less, or 3 or less drop balls. Yeah, the wide receivers got to come up big.
And and you can't have the pre-snap penalties and then some of those holdings.
Yeah.
And I've never. I can't tell you.
Holding. I'm not even kind of worried.
I can't
about
tell you
that,
the last time they called a offensive player for the offensive face mask.
That was brutal.
Yes,
that was brutal. That was the officials announcing their presence with authority. Just make sure we all knew they were there.
I was hoping, and Spencer wouldn't do it. I was hoping he was going to go Bull Durham with Crash to get him kicked out of the game. I won't say it, BJ. I promise.
Thank you. So is it a combination, I guess, of Colorado State's defense we don't think is great, and we expect the offense to be a little better, I guess we should say?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, yes, and Colorado State too.
And you're both saying around 30 points should be doable today?
I think so.
I mean, the spread is 17, and they've only scored 7 points in each of the last 2 games.
And they give up on average 28. So 30 is an magic number, in my opinion.
Yeah. I just reacting to the last comment on here, but we're not going to see a pass-happy offense. We're just going to see some more shots down the field. But whether we run the ball is going to dictate our success, but we're going to have an opportunity to throw it, make some plays.
Physical brand of football in the front 7 on both, or the O-line, tight ends, and I want to see some physical play by the front 7 defensively.
Linda says first play is going to be a run up the middle.
Bet on it.
I'd like to see play action. They actually have that first play runner pass. You could do that.
I mean,
now let's go to
hey, how about let's go flea flicker.
I'm saying play action something. What I'm trying to think if it was Ryan Clady or who was it? There was a tackle here on senior day. They gave him a catch or
Ryan
a run
Clady,
or something.
Nate
Okay,
Potter.
Yep. Okay, Nate Potter got one too.
Darren College.
So any thought of a Casey eligible tackle?
Tackle Sally too.
Ezra Cleveland got one at the Utah State game. He should have scored.
And a reverse at Colorado State. Or at Utah State.
It was Utah State.
Yeah, Utah State.
Oh, yeah, pass catch too. What happened on the
Garrett Kern on the
that one was a debacle.
I don't remember that one, but the Utah State one, there was a handoff coming around. He should have scored. It was 1-on-1. It was
the block, and then we tried to do the throwback wheel to said, and there was pass interference.
And I know you say you don't try to get the seniors in the game, whatever, but on senior day, do you all try to, whether it's Matt Louder or one of the linemen and seniors or somebody, try to? I mean, is there something in the playbook at least for one of those guys?
You're going to see something. What it is, I have no idea, but you're going to see something.
What was Nate Potter's? I'm trying to. Did he?
Same thing. Tackle side. I mean,
was it a run or a pass? He caught a pass.
It was a screen lateral.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same play as Clady. Same. I mean, it's
who's the Alabama tackle that's been getting some Wildcat? Can we get
Proctor.
Cage Casey in a,
they threw it to him
Cage Casey
too.
in a Wildcat maybe or something. Just
That
fourth
would
and one.
be awesome.
I don't think you're going to see that, but
How cool
You
would
never
that
know.
be? Tush push with Cage Casey.
Well, open it. If fans want to see it open up a little bit, then now you got your chance. Now let's go.
That
To,
would be awesome.
let's go to the Boise State defense for a minute. Amarion McCoy electing to have surgery, out for the season. Leads this team in interceptions. Obviously, their best defensive back, one of them in terms of corners for sure. Some young guys going to get a chance to step up. Some inexperienced guys. Freeney, the Arizona transfer, Sherrod Smith, and then Franklin Johnson Jr. as well, getting a chance in there. Obviously, an opportunity for them, but one of their best corners out. What do you make of the?
Somebody's got to step up, and I want to make sure everybody understands this. Just from talking to some guys, it's not like he couldn't have kept playing at a high level and kept playing. It wasn't
there was
like,
some fans saying, "Oh, he's just said the season's going nowhere. I'm done."
Not even kinda. The guy went as long as he possibly could, and at some point, like, you keep tweaking it, and it gets worse and worse, and you're not playing as well as you can play. That you're going to hurt the team.
At some point, and this is going to sound, and I could get blasted for this, that sometimes the coach needs to step in to protect the player. And if the player is just, I'm playing, and all of a sudden you're like, you're not as good. You're not as good as you should be. Maybe it's time you get the surgery and we'll figure it out. Rather than you come out and all of a sudden.
It got worse in the San Diego State. He was already playing with it for 5 weeks, and then it got worse.
Correct. Sometimes you just need to sit down and go, hey, it's not helping anymore.
And,
You need
and
to,
especially,
you
you're
gotta take
playing
a
on a
step.
grass field in the rain, all that stuff.
He's also a guy that has a pro future, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
And that gives him a month head start on getting ready for the free draft process and all that.
Sometimes the coach needs to
Maybe
step
it is
in.
if they're undefeated going for the CFP, maybe it's a different story.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean he's giving up on his team right now by not playing.
That's the point I was trying to make more than anything else. And if they're undefeated and in the CFP hunt, maybe it's still right where we're at. If you're going to be out there and be a liability because you're not.
Yeah, we're not talking
healthy,
jumped in the
that's the
portal and
problem.
said peace out.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that he's walking out there on senior day, I would tell you that means everything you need to know about.
And he didn't even know he was going to get this year. He was part of the Diago Pavia.
Yeah.
Last year he's going to the Fiesta Bowl thinking he's a senior and he's done, and he got the extra year.
You never know. that
Tennessee
loss,
just got that
lawsuit's still going, so we may see one or two of these guys still back here.
I would
on
be
that
interested
kind
to
of
say, Rid, defensively, right? There are going to be some different secondary guys in there. A secondary that's improved so much in the course of the season. Shenander he loves his blitz combos, and there's 3 new a game. Are you conservative in that regard to see how they're playing in the first quarter before you start unloading on it?
Well, Darius Curry, redshirt freshman, is starting at quarterback for Colorado State. It's his first start of his career. He came in the middle of the game last week when they had an injury, and he's the third quarterback, as you said. Nicolosi, Fowler Nicolosi said, I'm done after a couple games. This Jackson Brousseau came in, started 7 games, got injured against New Mexico. So Curry comes in. He's appeared in parts of 4 games. He is 72% completion, 447 yards, 3 touchdowns, but 4 interceptions. Was a scout team quarterback first half of the year. So what do you do?
So yes, you throw the kitchen sink at it.
That's where I'm going.
I didn't
think
even
the
know
big
that.
deal with him is he is a run around athletic guy, so just got to be careful. Make sure you keep him in the pocket. My guess is they probably
Defense
want
has
him to
always
throw it.
done well.
So, yeah, but it's amazing. A lot of these teams that are playing with backup quarterbacks, it's not been a great success story for them. I think I was telling you, Louisville, last I saw, backup quarterback today for the first time was down 38-6. It's Louisville. They got money there.
Yep.
Syracuse lost their quarterback early on. I think they're 3-7 or 3-8. It's over and over. There's only so many great quarterbacks to go around, and there's 130 team, and every one of those guys wants to be a starter. Now, Oregon State, they're on 2 or 3. They obviously been struggling. I mean,
do we think Colorado State, while we're talking defense, Brad, will have more than 35 yards passing today? Because if they do, that'll be the most in 3 games given up by the Boise State defense. Fresno State came in here, I believe, at 35 yards passing and won. And last week against San Diego State, I think it was 19 yards passing that they had. The pass defense the last couple of weeks has been really, really good.
Like Rid just said, different style of offense coming in here, so they'll have more passing yards. They'll have 100.
Yeah, I would say that.
You stop 100 yards, 100 in a running or a spread, throw the ball offense that historically Colorado State
like
has.
App State. They had 67 or something. And
correct.
Yeah, it's what I mean.
So the 280 was it 277? I forget. The rushing yards given up by Boise State last week. It was almost 300 yards on the ground that Boise State gave up.
Different style coming in tonight. Different formations. Different everything.
Well, I was going to ask about the line. I don't know if you guys have watched the linebackers much, but I mean, there were some missed tackles, and they were obviously getting some heat this week in terms of giving up a lot of those rushing yards where a 2 or 3 yard gain ended up being 7, and instead of 2nd and 7, it's 2nd and 3, which obviously changes things. What are you seeing in terms of the tackling, but also just the linebackers of late?
You can get on the linebackers. I want to pay the defensive line did not reestablish a line of scrimmage. They did not clog the holes. They did not occupy the double teams. And now the linebackers were getting blocked because they did a great job getting to the second level because they were getting movement on the double teams last week. So the linebackers were getting eaten up where the D-line's got to reestablish a line of scrimmage, occupy 2 to let the linebackers run. That is your job, is to keep the linebackers to run and make tackles. Now, don't miss tackles. If you're getting the opportunity to make the tackle, you make the tackle.
So you're saying sometimes what looks like is the linebacker not doing something was set up by the line not doing what they're supposed to do.
Absolutely. If you're going against a defensive lineman that is so strong and so stout, that guard or tackle will not come off because you're told don't go to the second level if you haven't taken care of the first level, because the first level causes fumbles, right, and tackles for loss. Linebackers, let them run and keep the double team on. Grab. Everybody does it. The guard, the 3 technique will grab the inside of the jersey to not let the guard come off so the linebacker can run. That's what they got to do up front, is reestablish the line of scrimmage, which is physical football. Let the linebackers run and make plays.
Yeah, and, I think nobody's going to go 100 for 100 on tackling anymore.
No.
It's
no
just
chance. Not a chance.
Just kind of the way it is. But, the other thing I see is I know Marco missed a tackle or 2, some of the other guys, but I'm also watching Marco run down and make the plays on kickoff. And when Marco's having to run down on kickoff, like, we need some other guys to step up and provide some depth and let my man get a play off. I mean, the guy's on punt team, kickoff, and I would say, like, he's not just out there running down on the kickoff team. Like, he's having to make the tackle.
I know I'm not making the weather as an excuse. Both teams had to deal with it. But how different is playing in a monsoon than just a normal game?
Especially, I would say it's not a big deal if you're playing on turf because that's grass. It's an old lineman's dream because the pass rush is nil. They're slipping.
I walked across the field after the game not thinking anything of it. And, I walked right across the field. And literally I took a normal step and water splashed for –
There's a reason why it matters some. It's actually a decent comparison. Go to a thoroughbred horse race, and all of a sudden you look in the bed of the horse, and it says he's a mudder, meaning the horse loves to run in mud. That horse becomes a favorite.
We even had a couple where the running back got out, and I thought, and it just couldn't quite make a move because he couldn't.
It's 10 times easier it's 10 times harder to tackle or miss it or tackle in space. It's harder to play in space because you're slipping all over, and that's why you want to turn into a 9 out of 7.
I was the guy making fun of the weather. I didn't realize it was going to be that much rain. Like, to me, normally if it's 60 and rainy, that's a minor deal. But when it's a deluge and the wind's blowing and all that it does make it harder. And probably the footing as much as holding on to the ball.
No doubt.
What do you make of Colorado State 2-8 interim coach? I saw Jay Norvell's the honorary captain back at Iowa today, getting honored back there for what he did there. But just in terms of a team like that, kind of nothing to lose coming in 2-8. I mean, they barely lost. It was a close game against New Mexico last week.
They beat Fresno, right?
They might have still had Norvell when that happened, though. I forget when that was. But But yeah, they did. Yeah. But in general, when you're a coaching staff or a team facing an interim guy late in the season, they're 2-8. What are those kind of scary teams to play? Or are those like, no, those team we should crush?
They're scary teams to play for the first 2 minutes because the players like, we're in this together. It's us. Then you hit them in the mouth. They're like, so when's the season over?
Yeah. It's paranoia going into the game, and then once you get out there, you're pretty good because you're worried. Like, what if they change? What if they change? But it's kind of what I said earlier. It's that's the paranoia you have, but you can't change.
And they can't go to a bowl game, so you're more nervous if they can go to a bowl game.
Yeah,
because the kids want the free stuff. They're not playing for anything. So it's you're nervous at the start until you hit them in the mouth and just go.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Toss it up to Kobe Young.
Yeah,
he's not even suiting up, is he? I don't think he's able to play. I haven't seen
him in a while. So,
finally figured out what happened to this team this year. Too many day games. The blue was built for bright lights and chilly nights.
I 1,000% agree.
Actually, you mama is a great point.
What's the drink? Diet Coke.
Yeah. Okay.
Beer.
You can tell with me, right? If it's beer, it's beer.
Yeah.
If it's not, it's Diet Coke.
Your mama says Boise by 24. We got a little bit of time left. If you have a score prediction or a thought, let us know. Let us know where you're watching from. We'll get that in before we get out of here here in a little bit. But what else? I mean, there's 365 days in a year, Brett and Britt, guys, and we joke about it. And you get 6 home games guaranteed. I mean, 6 days out of 365 where you get to do what we're doing right now. Pack this place, tailgate, come out here, have fun. It's a sellout again. I mean, maybe the season's not, to this point, hasn't gone like you want, but you get a chance to go out today if you're a fan, if you're a player.
Hey, I'm still saying, like, if we win the last 2 games.
All right, we can get into that if you'd like.
Last 2 games, let it play out, see what happens. Because it just always seems like things work out for Boise State.
So last night, UNLV winning helped a little bit. Gives Hawaii a third conference loss, so they're out of there. Boise State obviously has to win their last 2 games. But it's pretty simple. You need Fresno State to lose a game, and you need New Mexico to lose a game. Fresno State plays tonight against Utah State. It is in Fresno, but it's only a 2.5-point spread.
We need New Mexico to lose.
Yes.
The tiebreaker over the
tiebreaker.
Because if you go to a 4-way tiebreaker, New Mexico did not play Fresno, and then it goes straight down to computer rankings, and the head-to-head doesn't matter. So if you want to get it to a 3-way tiebreaker with Fresno and UNLV, you need, UNLV and New Mexico. Who's the other team I'm forgetting?
Well, San Diego State's probably in. They should be in.
Yes,
right?
yes. All I know is New Mexico did not play Fresno this year. So if there's any group tiebreaker, everybody has to play everybody or you throw that out. And then it goes down to the computer rankings. So you need to get New Mexico. If it's just Boise State and New Mexico, yes, Boise State would have that tiebreaker. But that would mean UNLV has to lose next week. That means like 3 other teams have to lose.
Schroeder's got the boys playing. So they scored 55 last week. They were beating Wyoming a little bit ago.
All right, well, maybe that's the case. But the easiest way is just have New Mexico plays Air Force today at Air Force. You never know.
Lose that.
You never know what could happen there. They play at San Diego State, or they play San Diego State in the last game. So New Mexico could lose. New Mexico plays at Air Force today, and I think
they could lose 2 straight.
Well, they only need to lose 1 for Boise State's sake. And then Fresno is home to home to Utah State, which the spread's only 2.5. And then, by the way, they're in the 3rd overtime, and it's 14-7 with whoever that would be. Wyoming and Nevada, maybe?
Probably.
We can look that up here in a second. But
I got it.
Fresno does play. I got it right here. Fresno does play. No, they're not. No, it says there's 59 seconds left. They're still in the 4th quarter. But it is 14-7, 13-7. New Mexico or Nevada has a chance to win a second straight. But all I'm saying is you really don't need 10 things to happen. You root for Utah State tonight. Fresno State probably not losing to San Jose next week, so tonight's the best chance for that to happen. And then if you
throw out the records when San Jose State and Fresno State
they fired their D coordinator, they fired their special teams coach.
They're up in front of 500 people in the stands,
and you're not even going to count the homeless.
Hey, they've made some changes to that stadium out there in San Jose. They're trying.
Great head coach.
New Mexico's favored by 3.5, by the way, at Air Force.
Yeah, but that's a new staff running that triple and things like that. They don't. That defensive coordinator is a pro guy, so we'll have to see what happens with that game.
And last year, if you want to go percentages, last year or 2 years ago, I guess, when Spencer took over, it was actually less of a chance than it is now.
At the end of the day, win all you can control. You got to win the last two.
Control your own destiny.
And next week's not going to be an easy game.
No.
Utah State show up ready to play. So
they're 5-5 right now.
At Utah State too.
On Black Friday at 2:00.
Coldest place I've ever been to.
Were you part of the? You were part of the staff, the 7-8 turnover game with Brett Rippon.
Oh yeah.
Sorry to bring up bad memories, but
remember that one.
Remember that one puppy got hit by a car?
We had a chance at one point to go in at half, like down 10. By the time we actually got in at half, we were down 24. I think 2 consecutive pick sixes.
It was either one was a strip sack touchdown, I think. One was a pick six. Yeah, there was a lot of a lot of bad stuff that happened.
I just remember this bad stuff.
All right, so this game, 17-point spread, Brad. I know you've been down to put a wager down or two. Would you feel more better laying the 17 or taking the 17 today?
I've taken the 17, 30-10 final.
So you're laying the 17.
Yeah.
You think Boise State will win by more than 17?
Yeah, I'm going to go somewhere around
20, right? 30-10, yeah.
35-10, 35-7.
Yeah.
What would be the bigger question mark for you? What do you feel better about? Boise State's defense not giving up much to them, or Boise State's offense getting to that 30-35 that you guys think can happen?
Boise State's defense playing really well. Barring they were on the field a long time last week, so I think if
I like the chances for a defensive touchdown, like a strip sack.
I think Boise State's defense, what Schneider's done this year, is really good.
We have traditionally had a wonderful day with our punt return unit against the Colorado State punt team.
What was that? Which year was that? Where there was a blocked punt? Was it 2 blocked punts for touchdowns?
I believe Avery Williams in the same game blocked 2 punts and returned 1 for a touchdown. I think
that was after you guys were coming off a bad loss. I remember that. You guys were coming off was that the BYU game or there was some game? And then
I think it was.
And there was a lot of questions like this. And then
Kala Kaniho,
was that COVID year? Or was that 20?
Cool. I think it's 19.
Okay.
19.
I remember going into that
BYU COVID year.
No, the game after that, though, I think.
That was a bad game.
Andy Peters getting some run QB.
Yeah. Well, because then 17 was the Leighton Vanderish overtime punch out where we got the onside kick.
Yep.
Epic comeback.
Yep.
You don't lose to Colorado State.
There are some crazy. They had the Hail Mary the other way in Fort Collins.
Yeah.
There's been some crazy games against Colorado State.
I don't think we've had a whole bunch of close ones here. We've had a bunch of close ones there.
I can tell you the answer to that. And by the way, the 2023 game, 30-31. So that was the last time they played. Was the Hail Mary game in
game last year.
And that was the first time ever that Colorado State beat Boise State. Boise State was 12-0, had won 12 in a row against Colorado State, and then had the Hail Mary on the last play.
Time to start a new streak.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't
and
lose.
The last couple of scores in Boise, 49-10, 52-21, 56-28. There was a 28-23 game back in 2016.
That was late. That was onside kicks late, but we were up 28-10 or something.
So the last 3 or 4 have been blowouts on the blue. Which senior gives us what? What do we got?
Jake wants us to lay the 9.5 in the first half.
He says they're going to be up by at least 10 at halftime. He says 9.5 first half.
So you laid it down, huh? All right.
I always would like that better if I knew who was going to get the ball first. If you knew who was going to, I guess you can. Which team usually? I guess there's probably stats. If they win, if they usually kick or whatever else.
Yeah,
but.
You could hedge your bet by betting kickoff, heads or tails.
I don't think they do that if it's not the Super Bowl. I don't think you can. I don't think that's not a non. This guy's watching from Dietrich, Idaho. Pete Peterson, we appreciate you. 36-3 is the final prediction there for Randy Vaughn. Okay, so I guess we kind of start to wrap this up. Confident that Max Cutforth in the offense will look better than the last 2 weeks.
I do have confidence in that. I'm a full sell believer. I think that's going to happen. I think it's good. I think these kids got pride, and I think they're tired of hearing the crap. To be quite honest with you, from everybody.
How much of that is real? I mean, when I heard Spencer talk on Thursday, and he said, "I told the team like, this is your last chance of this year. Like the product you put out there, these like, you saw what the last product's been the last 2 weeks. The product you want to put out there is what they just sold out again. 14 straight sellout. What are you going to do to return the favor to them?
If you're
is that real?
If you're a man, and you believe in what you do,
and you're prepared like that all week. It's not like get to game day and I'm going to turn it on.
You guys didn't work your butts off all year to lay an egg.
And I'll say this: I mean, to me, it sure seems like there's a lot of energy, a lot of belief. I think you guys are pulling closer together. Like they know it's them in the foxhole. And yeah, there's a bunch of loyal BSU fans out there that got their back, but they know there's people out there that are jumping off the train. So
I used to tell the kids, and I appreciate the fans. They gave me a whole bunch of ammo in my room. I'd be like, guys, this is all we got. So backs against the wall, what do you want to do? Because when you leave this building, you only got us. Because they don't give a rat's ass.
But it's not like the last home game, like the boos were unjustified or whatever. It's not. I mean,
I'm not saying that, but it's just a great way to rally your guys to get a locker room tighter, because you guys are the only ones that are gonna be with each other's back when the fight happens. I expect you to hit somebody in the mouth, and that's all we have. And if you flinch, I swear to God, I'll never play you ever again.
But a lot of that talk and a lot of the let's win this one for the seniors, that shows up in practice and film all week, not on game, not during the game, right? You're not everywhere. You're not trying harder during the game on a play because you want to win it for your senior. There might
be a moment in the huddle where you look over at Cage Casey and he's like, and you get a little boost from that or something, but it's not. I mean, that would have happened probably if it's not first game, last game, like whatever. But I do think there's some of that where you get just that little bit of energy that help you out. But yeah, the bulk of the game, you're playing on what you've worked on.
Come out with some swagger and hit them in the mouth. Period. Just come out with a swagger. You guys know you've worked hard. Take the whatever. And the past is the past. You can't replay the game because you scored 7. Learn from it. Come out with a swagger. Hit them in the mouth and beat the daylights out of them. And make a statement. We'll go to Utah State, and you're going to do it again. That's the way it's got to be. If you come out
what you expect to see too?
Absolutely.
Yep. Less confident because you only scored 7, dude. Come on, come out with a swagger. It's over.
And as you're saying, if you do come out with that swagger early in the game, you let a 2-8 team like Colorado State with an interim coach go, then their mindset starts to change.
Oh yeah, they'll start fighting.
Yeah, you don't want to arguing. You don't want to give them a chance.
No,
you don't want to give them a chance.
You never. Yeah. Wounded animal. Just end it early.
Yo, your mama says, BJ and crew, keep kicking ass. Love your shows. So thank you, Yo, your mama. Appreciate you. All right, guys. You said 35-10, or what's the final score prediction here?
I said 30-10.
30-10. All right.
He said 35-7, 35-10.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see it we'll see what happens. I know you want to get in there to be these seniors. Like I said, both you guys still have ties to players on this roster, and that's going to be cool for you to be in the stands to see Matt Lauder and some of these folks get honored.
Absolutely. Fired up for that. Be an emotional time for them, but, just support those guys and appreciate them for all they've given to Bronco Nation. Not just Matt and those, but all those guys.
Congratulations to them. They deserve it.
Absolutely. Also, I want to give a shout out to another former Bronco about to tee it up in Pocatello for the state championship.
Ian
Timberline
Smart.
guys, Ian Smart.
Yeah.
So good luck to them. Hope they can come home with the championship.
Playing
Rigby today.
Going to be a tough matchup, right?
Tough one. Without the
they're good.
But they got through it last week playing a backup quarterback. So
now going to Oregon.
Also a little bit different. He's also probably the best player in the state, so a little bit different. But fired up. Shout out to the Timberline guys. Go get it.
Well, I'll tell you what, this place is as packed as I can remember it being for a pregame. I mean, if this is an indication, I know the game's sold out, but the fans aren't giving up on this team just yet, it seems like.
No.
Well, guys,
one thing about Bronco Nation, I mean, there's a lot of people that just spew BS out of their mouth. They just can't help
The
it.
vocal minority.
But there's trust me, we know
Diarrhea of the
players,
mouth.
coaches, everybody, that there are so many people that ride and die with the Broncos.
I agree with you.
Really appreciate those people.
The vocal minority get the most pub. That's the way it is. Always has been. But hey,
I got to do a better job of ignoring those folks too, by the way. I can do better, I think. It don't matter as much as the 99% that do.
I've made my life by ignoring those. Sometimes I got into it with a couple of guys. It's fun. I mean, and usually if you come out with friends in the end.
We bitch, but we love this damn team.
Yeah, hey, sometimes
that guy, whoever that is, I can't see out of my glasses on. You say it best.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like I said, crowd or fans, you have every right to say what you want. This is America.
Yep.
You have every
Absolutely.
right.
Well, it's a beautiful day, sellout crowd. Should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. And then post game, we'll be back. I think Nathan's going to host with you guys, so we'll get it rolling shortly after the game ends, and then we'll get our interviews and make our way over and follow some of the other games today and see what the picture looks like going into the final week next week. So appreciate the James for having us here, and Barry and the whole crew, and appreciate Lithia Ford for sponsoring the pregame show. And we'll be back for the Jackson's postgame show when the game ends.
Go Air Force.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Go
Air
Broncos.
Force and Utah State would be the nice double dip today.
Yep.
Appreciate it,
All
guys.
right, guys.
Thanks, Rid. Thanks, Bedell. Thanks to Kanan for all of his work over on the side and keeping Brad hydrated. So that's maybe most important. But enjoy the game, everybody. Appreciate it. Check out BroncoNationNews.com. We'll be chatting there in Kent's favorite spot, the message boards on BroncoNationNews.com. You can hang out and chat with us there, and then we'll be back for the Jackson's postgame show shortly after the game ends here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all that good spots. Boise State, Senior Day, Colorado State. It's a beautiful day downtown Boise. Should be a lot of fun, and we'll talk to you guys post-game. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Who knew it'd take 2,007 man-hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass? Smells like game day. Whoa, it's not dry yet.